Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So tonight's video is another spa night chit chat video. You may notice I'm in a new background. I am so excited. I'm officially now my new place, my own place. Yes. And I've been watching everyone's My Truth video. I'm sure we all have been, even though we're sitting there like, girl, another one.
Another one, another one, another one, and another one.
Let's get to Jaclyn's video. Now, this video was 44 minutes long. 44 minutes, almost 45 minutes was a bit much for me. I don't hate Jaclyn Hill. I really don't. I respect her as a content creator. Have things gone wrong? Absolutely. Has she been dishonest? Absolutely, she has been, but so has the brands that she's worked with, mostly Morphe. I'll get into that in a minute. I have no hate in my heart towards Jaclyn, I never have. As a matter of fact, one of the only products from Morphe that I ever bought was the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I genuinely do love this palette. I was very happy with it. I'm still happy with it. It's one of my most used palettes, but I still feel like I feel like I just don't trust the woman, and a lot of people feel that way. So the first thing she addresses is the vault, and she admits that there have, yes, been inconsistencies amongst the palettes.
First thing that I want to address is my vault collection with Morphe. So I'm just going to start off by saying that there have been inconsistencies in the production, and just putting that out there, just first and foremost. I talked to Linda and Morphe. I talked to them every single day, honestly, about what's going on, and they have given me full permission just to be as honest and transparent as I want here on camera with you guys, and they're like, just tell the truth and let it all out, which is freaking awesome. So the first thing is people are getting palettes that are not having good pigmentation and not swatching well. First of all, let me just say that this news broke my heart. It does not matter what I feel. What matters is you guys are spending your money on a palette, and it should be exactly what I say, what Morphe says. It should be what we promise. And I have always prided myself in putting out great products. You know, I have worked so long and so many years on stuff and been like, the reason that this took 187 years is because I had to make it perfect. So the fact that there were inconsistencies in this palette, even after we pushed the first launch back, it sucked.
She then goes on to say that Morphe themselves gave her permission to be open and honest and just to get everything out there once and for all, which she was excited about, but it's like, the entire time this vault fiasco has been happening, we've been told that Jaclyn, by Jaclyn herself, that she is being completely honest. So now she had to get permission from Morphe to be completely honest. I mean, if you were being honest before, wouldn't you just said the same things you said before that you're being honest about? But now the story's changed, and that's what I mean. Like, that's what I don't understand about this girl, is that she is a very well-loved individual in the beauty community. We all know that. Lately, she hasn't been. She's gotten a lot of heat because of things like this. There is so much dishonesty that comes from both brands and influencers, and oftentimes, people catch them in these inconsistencies, and they'll sit there and say, oh, no, I've been telling the truth the entire time. No, you haven't. Anyways, she goes on to say that Morphe was telling her the palettes were destroyed.
So I did tell you guys that every single old palette from like the bad batch, if you will, was destroyed. I was wrong. That is what I was told, but it ended up not being the case. The real truth is that it has been quarantined. It has been moved to a completely different warehouse. It was moved to a different warehouse before any new shipment came in from China and shipped to Los Angeles, but it is gone. Like they said, there was not one shadow, not one palette left in that entire warehouse. I am obsessed with this right now, so I'm just trying to deliver you guys the most accurate information possible about it. So as of right now, I don't know if it's still like this moment, but as of like a week ago or so, the palettes were in quarantine still, and they have not destroyed them, because at this moment they're analyzing these palettes, trying to get to the bottom of what happened and what went wrong and why such a huge amount were inconsistent. In the end of the day, the old palettes are not being sold.
She then says that the palettes were not destroyed, they had been quarantined, but Morphe had been telling her that the palettes were in fact destroyed. Then she says that Linda wouldn't ever lie to her.
Linda would never lie to me. She would never, ever lie to me. And Linda has been like investigating this right alongside of me, like we're in the CIA.
But sis, she kind of she kind of did. She didn't bother to correct you on that before this video. Like, that wasn't important to her. Like, I'm sorry. To me, that is the biggest issue that I have with Morphe, is they have very, very questionable business practices as far as being honest with their customers, as far as obviously being honest with their influencers they collab with. I mean, hello. You kind of just called them out in a fucking lie yourself without even knowing it. To me, if I were Jaclyn in this situation specifically, and Linda didn't tell me these kind of things before I made this kind of video, because quite frankly, the way I see it, everyone at Morphe made her look like Boo Boo the Fool just now. If I were Jaclyn and if I had told millions of my subscribers something that I was being told by this brand, saying that it was true, the palettes were destroyed, when it wasn't true, I would be fucking furious. But notice that she's not mad at all, doesn't seem to be pissed off about that. She does go on to acknowledge that she has in fact been shoving Morphe down people's throats. She says she's gonna take a break from Morphe for a little while just to kind of level things out. We'll see how long that lasts. Now this is the part that I was like, girl.
So basically, long story short, some emails have been leaked. I say leaked because I don't even know if these emails are legit, because I personally have searched the internet high and low and cannot find a copy of these emails. So I don't know. I can't confirm anything. I've heard other people say like, oh, well, it's been confirmed. And I'm like, by who? A gossip channel got a hold of something along this line and started talking about it. And I will be honest, there are some things in there that are kind of accurate, but more than anything, I watched it kind of like this. Like, what?
So she brings up the leaked, seemingly fake emails. At least she kind of makes these emails out to be fake, like they're not real, because there's no way anyone can validate them and all this bullshit. But the emails that she reads in her video, which I have the video right here.
So I have an email sitting in front of me right here, and I'm gonna read it to you guys, okay? I'm not gonna read you anything that Marlena or her team ever sent to me, because that's not my place. And I don't want to make this into like a he said, she said thing. I just want you guys to know where I was coming from in this, because I am sick of everyone having misinformation out there. So this email dated on August 19th, 2015 says, I totally understand. Air costs are so expensive. At the same time, the public doesn't care about air costs, and we can't explain that to them, which is so frustrating. I'm just being 100% honest with you and upfront, because I know my audience. If we drop the price, it will sell within 2 months, I'm sure. At blank dollars, but I said, at blank dollars, it may sit around for 6 to 8 months, which I can't do that because I have signed a contract with Morphe to launch a palette in December, and we are now trying to push it back since this palette got pushed back. Then I go on to say, I am wondering how you feel about putting this project on hold and launching Manny's palette first and then launching mine in spring, or it could be in the beginning of next year and Manny could be spring. Since this has been so delayed, it's honestly giving me anxiety because I signed my contract with Morphe months ago and I have been working on our collab for a very long time. It was supposed to be a holiday launch, and now I feel like the Makeup Geek palette and Morphe palette are going to cross paths, and it's going to be a mess for all of us. Then I say, these are just my current thoughts. I'm trying to find a way to add less stress for everyone. I hope I don't stress you out with this, but I think that if we keep trying to move forward at a fast pace and spend blank amount on air shipping, it's going to be a mess. Please bounce your thoughts back at me. Saying, ugh, I'm sorry. Hopefully pushing this palette back will come as a relief. Again, I can still do it in 2015, but it would need to be by mid-October by the latest.
Both of those emails were in the original BTS video that had been taken down. And if you had watched that video, then you would know, you would recognize those emails. And so then it begs the question of, okay, but are they really just fake emails if they were the exact same emails you're reading right now? So she says she went looking on the internet for copies of the email. I'm not sure what she meant by that whatsoever, when she clearly has access to the same emails, because like I just pointed out, both the emails she had read in her video were already in BTS's original video and they had already been read. I kind of believe now more than ever. I was still kind of like on the fence about the emails myself, but the fact that she read 2 emails verbatim to what we saw in the original video from BTS on her channel, She says that she is working on her own cosmetic brand, so expect that in 10 years. And then she brings up Marlena's $60,000 comment. Now this is where she kind of ends off the video, and this is where I was like, my ears went up like this. So she says that she was not the one charging $60,000 for a video. Now this is the thing that I've been trying to point out on Twitter time and time again. James Charles has mentioned this. Arnell, I forgot her name, her last name, but Alyssa Ashley's sister, she was on the defense about this because she was like, I've never heard it happen before. Where is this happening? Da, da, da. Like, they both try to like cancel this whole thing out, but Jaclyn confirms that it does happen.
Based on Marlena saying that she's been charged $60,000. Yeah, $60,000 is a pretty normal price for people to charge. I'm just being real. I've never charged that. I have to keep reiterating that over and over and over because I already know the comments are like, I can't believe you charged that. I have never charged that. People who do sponsorships, honey, $60,000 is just the beginning. Like, honest to God, I'm not joking with you. Like, I might get hate from other influencers, and I really hope that I don't, because at this point it's like, who cares? Like, who cares? But I mean, I sat at a table with a bunch of influencers last year, and everyone was talking about sponsorships and brand deals and trips and just stuff like that. And someone at that table told me, oh yeah, I get paid $70,000 just to mention a product. Like, if I am doing a makeup tutorial and I just like use a blush, as long as I talk about it for 30 seconds, I get paid $70,000. And I was like, what? Like, I was so shook. I don't mean to group anybody together. When I say someone charged $70,000 to apply blush, like, that's one person. That's not everybody. Please keep that in mind. I also know somebody who, as of this moment, is charging $150,000 a video and living their best life. You know, that's a thing as well.
Just because you personally, James, Arnell, whoever the fuck else said the same shit, just because you aren't the ones charging $60,000 for a product review or whatever the fuck the case was, does not mean it doesn't happen. And let's be real, I think we're learning now more than ever that not everybody in your industry is as honest as they say they are. So, and I think the reason why you guys are being so defensive about it, because you could very easily just laugh it off and be like, okay, whatever, you know? It's not that deep of a fucking thing, but you're making it deep when you keep saying, well, I'm gonna tell my truth and all this, and I've never heard that happen before in my life, da-da-da. I'm not one of these people who is out for heads over what these influencers are gonna charge. Do I think $60,000 is insane? Yes. But just by what Jaclyn is disclosing, it's not something that is so far-fetched. I know everyone wants you to believe it's a far-fetched number and that it's insane that anyone would ask that kind of thing, so it can't be true. But the reason people are being so defensive about it, there's a reason for it. So either they're the ones making that kind of money and they're getting worried they're going to be outed for that kind of shit, or maybe it's one of their friends or something. I don't know. Like I said, it's very obvious, it's been made very clear that we cannot trust a good portion of the people we see in this big influencer community. And you know what? In closing, Jaclyn makes this point.
I know that it pisses people off, like, how dare they? But I will say at the same time, as someone who doesn't take sponsorships, I really don't see an issue with it, because if you're charging $100,000 for a video, but you're making that company $1 million because of your video, that's 10%. And you should be getting paid. If you're in a contract with them and they're sponsoring you, get your coin, get paid.
And I'm not gonna sit here and bash this girl. This is an excellent point to make, especially for me, from someone who went to cosmetology school and for school for makeup, whatever. This is something that I have been told from the beginning from my teacher. She always told us, Miss Michelle always told us, do not ever do anything that you're good at when it comes especially to doing hair or makeup or whatever the fuck you choose to do in your life. Do not ever do anything you're that good at for free. You should always get paid for your work, for your artistry, for your craft. And that applies to everything. And you know what? It applies to the influencers too. They should absolutely get paid for their work. Do I think it's a little much that they get these brand trips almost every other month seemingly to all these exotic ass places on top of getting 60 grand, $100,000, whatever the fuck the case may be, on top of getting all these luxurious gifts and all this bullshit? Yes, I think it's insane that a brand will pay that much, especially when they're not even making money back from the influencers themselves. I think it's insane that anyone would pay that money out. But I'm not these brands, and unfortunately, until these brands realize what they're doing to themselves, they're robbing themselves pretty much, they're not gonna stop. Because for whatever reason, they're seeing people with these millions and millions of subscribers thinking, okay, they're gonna make us the most money. We have to go work with them and give them whatever the fuck they want. And in return, they're getting these videos where these people will do really half-assed makeup looks using their products, like without even barely trying to put any effort into creativity or anything. They'll go for the most basic shades. Like for instance, if I was going to do a review of this palette from ColourPop, you know the first colors everyone would go to are the warm tones. Copper eye, nude lip, because it's the easiest, it's the fastest, and they know people are gonna watch it. My face is washed, feels good, a little red in some places, and I got a pimple. So in closing, guys, it's up to you, whatever you guys want to believe. Honestly, do I think this video needed to be 45 minutes long? No. However, at this point, I mean, we are hearing so many different versions of so many different things from all these people. Am I gonna watch James's video when it comes out? Absolutely, obviously. As a matter of fact, his is the one I'm more anxious about than anything. Just because he said a lot of things that have been debunked, especially in this video by Jaclyn, especially when it comes to that ridiculous $60,000 price tag. So I'm very interested in seeing how he sways that one. And quite frankly, I would love to know who it is exactly who is getting those kind of brand deals and that kind of money. I would laugh my ass off if it turned out to be James in the end. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna go to bed. Hopefully you guys liked tonight's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And I will see you guys in the next video. I love you guys so, so much.